out here and try to do the best we can. Okay. All right.
Did you meet with the defendant earlier?
Yes, I did, and I'm pleased with our relationship. I think we've made a strong bond, and I'm looking forward to moving forward, helping him out.
How were you approached?
I really don't want to get into that.
Is he saying he's innocent at this point?
He has indicated pleas of not guilty. The only charges that we've seen thus far have been the ones here in Pennsylvania, and we have pled not guilty to those charges. And we'll
What's his state of mind?
I really can't get into that. That's too speculative. I'm not going to get into that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear from here. You said he has said he's innocent so far?
Oh, yeah, we pled not guilty, at least to the charges in Pennsylvania. Like I said, I'm not aware of any actual charges in New York. If you were in the hearing earlier, there was a proceeding where they introduced some documents, which, as I complained about, didn't have enough information for me. So we're looking forward to getting that additional information.
When did that plea happen? It's not something that I was aware of.
Okay, well, hopefully, again, I was not at the arraignment yesterday. I hope he pled not guilty. I assume that that's what happened. But today, when I entered my appearance, and for the record, he's pleading not guilty to those offenses.
So he is. I was at the hearing. He did not say that he was not guilty or make that plea. So right now, though, you're telling us that he is pleading not guilty.
That is correct.
So he doesn't say you are under the impression, or you're trying to defend the client on the fact that he is not the shooter.
Listen, I haven't seen any evidence that says that he's the shooter. So that's like I said earlier, and I wasn't kidding around. A couple of things: if you're going to report something, report it accurately, and remember. And this is not just a small thing. The fundamental concept of American justice is the presumption of innocence, and until you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And I've seen zero evidence at this point, and so I'm not even aware of what any charges.
I'm sorry, that's just regarding the extradition request from.
Well, the only hearing today was the extradition, so we're going to take one step at a time. It's a long process. Can be a long process.
The photos that police released, the NYPD release of him.
I'm sorry?
The photos the NYPD release of your client.
I don't have any control over what the NYPD does, and if they release something, I hope I can get my hands on them. And if you guys get them, send them to me. I'd appreciate it.
Clarify something. You pled for him not guilty in the state of Pennsylvania about the charges here. Can you just, when did that happen?
Well, he has a hearing coming up. I believe it's the 20-something. I can't recall. A lot happened today. So until they haven't even had a prima facie case established yet, so they have to have a prima facie case established before the case can move on to the Court of Common Pleas. The burden is always on the government, thank God, and that's their burden, and they're going to have to produce some evidence, and we're anxious to see it.
Understanding that you have said you have not seen charges coming out of New York yet, that if and when there are, and you have seen them, will you be pleading not guilty to those as well?
That would be my expectation. That certainly would be my advice.
Your client's demeanor the past 2 days at the arraignment and again today at the hearing. At some points he was smiling, laughing. You even had to actually tell him to stop talking. What are his feelings right now?
Well,
he seems outspoken.
Well, all I can, he's obvious. I said earlier, use your common sense. If you put yourself you or a loved one in that position, it's natural, I think, to go through many emotional states. As far as him not talking, as long as I'm going to be the lawyer, I'm going to do all the talking. My client's not going to say anything.
A quick question about process. I was also at the hearing last night. I don't remember any plea being asked for or entered.
Okay. As long as he hasn't pled guilty, that's all I care about. So.
In the Blair County case, it's just not.
Well, I'm telling you, as his lawyer, he didn't have any lawyer of record, and he didn't have any representation until I got involved this afternoon. And I'm telling you, he's pleading not guilty to each and every.
When does that plea normally happen? At the first hearing?
Like I said, normally that could happen at what happened last night at the informal arraignment, which is at the magisterial district judge.
So is he telling you this is all some sort of awful mistake?
I'm not going to talk about anything he's told me.
How do you end up in Altoona?
I'm not going to talk about that.
Has he been able to contact his family since?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that either.
Can you tell us when you were hired?
I can say sometime prior to the hearing this afternoon.
So you were hired and not appointed by the court?
That is correct.
If Governor Rachel provides this governor's extradition thing, does that change the timetable here? You still have the right to a habeas hearing, don't you?
Yes, sir, we do. Like I said, and I'm not trying to be, it's 24. I'm not trying to be a smart ass or anything, but when we see, we've got to wait until we see things. When things happen, we'll react to that and proceed accordingly.
Since cameras weren't allowed in the courtroom, and which is normal and fine.
In Pennsylvania, that's the law.
Would you be able to give us a summary of what it is that happened in the courtroom today?
Yeah, today is basically what it was, and it happened fast. There was an extradition hearing scheduled. I found out about that about an hour or so before the hearing, and the initial thing is a person can waive extradition. And it was my opinion and my advice under the circumstances that he not, and I emphasize the not because apparently there's news reports already going out that he waived his extradition. He did not do that, and so that's why we wanted to make sure we're going to use the process and use the Constitution and the rights that are available to any one of us in this room and any American citizen or person charged with a crime. So we're going to move forward.
You argue that he should not be eligible for, that he should be eligible for bail, excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk about some of those reasons.
Yeah, so in Pennsylvania, the Constitution says that all crimes are generally a bailable offense. Bailable offense means you have to set some form of bail. The exception to that is if it's a capital case, which means the Commonwealth or the government is looking for the death penalty, and I'm proud to say I'm one of the few attorneys in Pennsylvania that's qualified to do death penalty cases. But those which this is not a capital case, knock on wood at least that I'm aware of it right now, or if a first degree murder, which carries in Pennsylvania life without parole. If the charge which you're faced with is life without parole, then you're not eligible for bail. Since the crime, at least what was set forth by the district attorney, was alleged to be a second degree murder, that's not life without parole. So I believe that bail should have been set.
But you also talked about like a home monitoring system was a possibility. His lack of prior criminal history. I mean, you really feel that your client should be out in the public. You do not feel that he's a threat to the community.
Yeah, now you got to understand, when you set bail, the judge could set $1 million bail. It could be $5 million bail, but damn it, you get bail. That's what you do. And like I said, anytime you look at the criminal justice system, pretend you're that one in that spotlight. You're going to want to be out. And, so yeah, I think he was entitled to bail, and the judge makes it $100 million or $10 billion or $100,000, he's entitled to bail. But to simply say no bail, in all due respect to the judge, I believe bail should have been set.
During the hearing yesterday, he implied that some of the cash that was found on him was planted, or he didn't know what it was to do with. Can you speak to that, please?
I can't because I wasn't at that proceeding.
Is your client being held in solitary confinement?
I can't comment on that. I do not know.
What is the procedure in the next couple of days? What are you going to do? What is going to happen?
I'm not going to get into a lot of detail. I do have some things planned, but I can't get into that because I don't think that's what attorneys do.
Are there any other court proceedings in the next day or two?
Not that I'm aware of. I hope that since I'm the attorney of record, that they let me know about it.
Earlier today, you talked about the masks possibly being related to coronavirus. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, I don't know where you are from, but I still see people wearing masks. They say numerous masks. A lot of times when you buy masks, you got to buy them. They don't. I guess you can buy them individually, but every time I bought them, they come in boxes. So I don't know. All I can tell you is that's not a crime. It's not a crime.
Did your client indicate to you that the reason for the mask was because of this?
I would not ever indicate anything he indicated to me.
What's
I
his
can't get into
demeanor
that.
like? Is he worried?
Well, I'm not going to speculate on that, but like I said, use your common sense. If you were in a jail or confined in a state where supposedly there's rumors going around you're going to be charged with murder, use your common sense.
Well, you talked to
Tell us about your client.
What's that?
What can you tell us about your client?
Probably not a whole lot.
What were your first impressions of him whenever you met with him or spoke with him for the first time?
I'm not like the airplane movie said. Hey, give us your impression. And the guy says, I don't do impressions. So I wasn't looking for impressions. What I was trying to do was form a bond with my client. I want him to trust me, and I want him to be confident that I'm here for him. And I feel that I'm very pleased how that went.
How's
hired
both
by
his
his
mental
parents?
and his physical health?
Excuse me, ladies first. I'm sorry.
How is both his mental and his physical health? Online, he appeared to frequently discuss a spine injury he may have had, and do you think that could have contributed to some sort of
Yeah,
mental breakdown?
I'm an attorney. I'm not a physician. I would only be speculating. I'm not going to do that.
What's the benefit of not waiving the extradition and going to New York and having a hearing?
There's a lot of benefits to that. It would take too long for me to get into all that. It's we're testing the process. I haven't seen anything. I have not seen one scintilla, one speck, one drop of any evidence yet. So it's what I decided. I think that it was in our best interest to do today.
Can you clarify if he will plead not guilty to the murder charge?
Well, from what I've seen up to this point, he hasn't been charged with that. Okay, he hasn't been charged with that. But if in fact he would be charged with that, I would anticipate. Again, I don't really want to speculate. But if in fact that would happen, I would anticipate a plea of not guilty.
Are you able to represent him in New York for the homicide charge?
If that would happen, that could be a possibility.
Will you accept public donations from those seeking to fund his defense?
I don't know.
How long will you be fighting the extradition?
As long as it takes to do it effectively and competently.
So, just to confirm, you are also barred in New York?
No, but you can get admitted because I've been doing this for 41 years. You can get admitted there. So, but like I said, I don't want to speculate about anything. If that opportunity would present itself and that would come out, I certainly would consider it.
Why did your client come to Altoona?
I'm not going to get into that.
Do you have any ties to here? Or was it
Not
school?
not going to comment on that.
Could you comment on what type of money the foreign currency was?
The what?
What type of
No, ma'am, I could not because again, I wasn't there. I haven't seen anything yet. I don't like to go by what in all due respect to you folks, what I hear in the press. So now that I'm on board, I'm going to find out.
Did you talk to him about it in New York?
Again, I'm not going to get into what my client and I talk about.
Have you spoken to his family?
Not going to get into anything about that.
Are you going to file any motions of any sort anytime soon?
I anticipate doing that.
Did you object to him going up to SCI Huntington? Should he be here in the Blair County lockup?
That's an administrative thing. That's at the bottom of my priority list right now. As long as he's safe and all that stuff, and I'll deal with that.
Watch?
Pardon me?
He's on the suicide watch?
I don't know that, and even if I did, I wouldn't comment on it.
Taking a step back.
Because they do that a lot of times in some institutions just as a matter of procedure.
Sir, can you just repeat, I'm sorry, folks are watching this all over the country and they're having questions.
Is that why all your cameras are here?
Can you just help us understand what do you expect him not to plead guilty to? Is this the murder charge or the charges in Pennsylvania?
If you charge a person, if the government charges a person with a crime, they have to prove that, okay? And they have to have some evidence, all right? So, we got it. Like I said, you can look on this table, and here's all the evidence I have right here. Zoom in as close as you want to it. Nothing. I've seen nothing. I have nothing, and we'll get that, and we'll
The
get
money
What
that
is
he
he
said is
pleading not
planted on
guilty
him.
to? What charges? Both?
every charge,
Every charge, soup to nuts.
every charge.
What about the money?
But what money?
It was $8,000 that was found with him.
I'm not commenting on that. Again, like I said, I don't know anything about money other than what I've heard from you guys, and I will get to the bottom of that and figure that out.
Taking a step back for a second, but stay close to the mics.
Okay, sorry.
When you saw news of the shooting last week that the CEO of UnitedHealth had been gunned down in the streets of Manhattan, what did you personally think? What was your reaction? I'm a lawyer. I'm a criminal defense lawyer. I don't have a whole lot of time to watch news. I just look at glances, and I won't comment on When
that.
did you hear of it?
I can't even remember.
Have you done any investigation yet?
I'm just really kind of basically got in this thing today, so I'm going to be doing some of that.
Can you clarify who hired you?
No, I cannot. I will not. I can, but I will not.
Are you aware of the statement the defendant made when he was being escorted to the courthouse today?
Well, I've heard some different versions of that. So I need to see what that statement was and all that stuff. But hopefully there won't be any more of that.
Your visits will be up there in Huntington?
I do not know. Sometimes I can get the court to arrange for him, for not just him, for a client to be transported back to Blair County.
We understand that there have been some threats made to local restaurants, local establishments, even the local police and their building. Have you in your office, your staff here, received any threats of that kind?
No, I hope not, but no, I'm not aware of any. I heard that just, I don't even know where I heard it, in the last half hour on my way back to my office, but I don't know. I think what I did, and maybe I think I saw some transcription of District Attorney Weeks' press conference. He mentioned something about people being threatened. I hope not. I mean, that's not what we should be doing as Americans.
When do you expect to talk to your client next?
Soon.
Are you going to attempt to delay the December 23rd prelim? Is that enough time?
That's a good question. I do not know that yet. That could be a possibility.
Does he have a current physical injury of any kind to his back?
I'm not going to comment on anything personally related to my client.
What are we missing?
What happened in court when you told him to keep quiet?
He shut his mouth, which is good. That's what he needs to do.
What
Right?
do you do for you to tell him to be quiet?
I thought I heard his voice, so that when I heard that, triggered me and shut up. So that's
How long have
just,
you been practicing, sir?
this is my 41st year.
Where did you leave it with him? Are you going to talk to him tomorrow?
I may, but definitely soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Anything else? Thank you, guys. Like I said, I appreciate your patience.
Thomas M. Dickey.
Yes, Thomas M. Dickey. Thomas M. Dickey. And then, so I appreciate everybody. Sorry the weather is what it is. And I appreciate you guys, all right? Thank you.
Thank you, so good luck to you.
You're very welcome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And remember, just don't forget that presumption of innocence, okay? That's a really important thing. And hopefully not, but someday you guys may all appreciate that.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.